Today on Close Up, we'll show you the best stories of the semester.
And we have an exclusive interview with President Comstock.
From the Department of Mass Communication at Winthrop University, you're watching Winthrop Close Up.
Welcome to Winthrop Close Up. I'm Chelsea Brown. Today we're here live in Diggs, but if you want to live tweet with us, follow us at Winthrop Close Up and use the hashtag WooLive.
And I'm Daisy Burrows. What would you do if your health had to be checked every day? I met with one Winthrop student who shares his story about living with diabetes.
Something that's always there and you can't forget about it.
David Pattison is living with type 1 diabetes.
I was diagnosed at 2. I never knew what it was like to be not diabetic.
Type 1 diabetes means Pattison's body cannot produce its own insulin. He says it can be very frustrating at times.
If I have a bad day with my sugars, sometimes I just come in here, I'll just sit in my bed and just randomly play.
Pattison says his gift for the guitar and interest in sports keep him in high spirits.
Being active in sports and all that's also a great way to keep your diabetes in check.
As a student, Pattison has to be extra precautious.
If my friends want to go out to eat somewhere, they can just go eat whatever. But, I gotta sit there while I'm eating and count up carbs and go give insulin.
Though thousands of Americans are diagnosed with diabetes daily, one university professor says hope should never be lost.
A diabetic can be the most healthiest person there is if they're taking care of themselves.
I've had a couple of times where I just tend to forget about it because, I've had it so long.
If diabetes runs in your family, Weichel recommends getting checked by an endocrinologist.
Go have your blood checked, have your blood sugar checked, and it's a quick way to know right away.
Weichel says it's important to share life-saving techniques with friends and family so they can help in times of trouble.
You're there to support them, you're there to help them. They don't have to be treated different than anybody else.
With a great support system, Pattison is confident that diabetes will not hold him back.
If you would like more information about diabetes and other health-related issues, visit Health Services in Crawford.
Breaking Amish is a reality television series that follows young adults who leave home in search of a different life. And while it may seem that these teens are cutting ties, their big trip to the Big Apple is not what you think. Reporter Dimitri Williams explains.
Breaking Amish does not exist. You get a choice, and you get a clear choice at 16. So it's not like I'm breaking Amish, I'm leaving, like screw you guys, whatever.
Breaking Amish is an American reality television series revolving the lives of young Amish adults who take on New York. What most gather from it is that living Amish is
It's just really strict.
I think they take it to an extreme that's not really necessary.
Contrary to what you see on TV, the Amish have a choice whether or not they wish to remain in the lifestyle.
Most, I would say, end up staying within the Amish order, going back to the family and deciding to live the Amish ways, whatever that particular area experiences.
Alexandria Schaefer left her home to study here at Winthrop.
Usually if you say that, like, I really don't want to do this type of religion, I want to do something else, like, most likely your family is going to be acceptable to it.
Schaefer is no longer allowed to talk about other religions, but her family accepts some of her inherited Western culture.
We're allowed to have cell phones, cars, tractors.
Some Amish are very conservative, while others are a little bit progressive. Reporting for Winthrop Close Up, I'm Dimitri Williams.
Doors are constantly opening for Winthrop students, but there's one door that doesn't close when someone walks through it. Reporter Harrison Garvin turns the knob to show us what it means to come out of the closet.
My mom was definitely devastated for like months. It was like the worst 3 months of my life.
Global, an organization that advocates homosexuality, promotes students to walk to the beat of their own drum.
Coming Out Day is the celebration of being a part of the LGBT community and being open about your sexuality. You come out the door to symbolize you coming out of the closet. You can also come in as an ally. You don't have to be strictly like LGBT.
Many Winthrop students came out to support Global and the homosexual community.
I think it's a great thing that people are coming out of the closet and being openly gay, because I feel like when you can come out and really express who you are, then you're going to be a happier person.
Coming out the closet isn't always easy. Some students have to deal with the perceptions of their friends and their parents.
My friends were kind of like, I already knew, you know, you can't hide your gayosity, you know. But my mom, she was really devastated.
Coming out the closet may be a bit more challenging for some students who are just now opening up.
I think people have troubles coming out not only because of how others will perceive them, it can really change how people see you, either for the better or for the worse, depending on who you're talking to. So there's a lot of fear associated with it.
This is Harrison Garvin for Winthrop Close Up.
Coming out is no longer a closeted topic, and we want to know what you think about it. Let's take it over to Meg on Twitter.
Thanks, Daisy. So I'm on Twitter right now trying to figure out how you guys feel about coming out of the closet. We don't have a lot of traffic in our tweets, but we do have a couple in our mentions. From Gabby F. Baby, we have, it's good that people can be who they want to be. Do you? And also from Kodak KP, she says, if you come out the closet and someone's opinion changes of you, then they weren't going to be there for you anyway. So continue to let us know how you feel about different things. Coming up, we would like to know how you feel about Winthrop possibly getting a football team. Back to you guys. Welcome back. Our executive producer, Zoe Irizarry, got to sit down with President Comstock for an exclusive interview only for our Best of show.
We have a special segment of Winthrop Close Up today, and joining us is Winthrop's very own president, Dr. Jane Marie Comstock. Dr. Comstock, thank you so much for being with us today.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be included.
And I know when we spoke to you in the spring, you were still in the interview process, and now you're here. You've almost completed your first semester, and how's it been?
It's been like a big whirlwind. At the same time, though, it's the most exciting and fulfilling time that I've ever had in my professional career. It is absolutely the dream come true for me.
That's awesome. Is there something that stands out as like the thing you're most proudest of, or most proud of this semester?
I think the proudest moment for me this semester was after convocation, leading the blue line for the first time down Scholars Walk. And when I think about that and see the pictures, I can still feel what that felt like. Because you're excited, the first class is excited, and of course it's their first year, my first year, and all of that together, plus the 128-year history of Winthrop University involved with supporting that blue line. It was the proudest moment of my professional career.
Right. And I know you interview with students, you talk to them, you're out on campus. You really have a strong presence, which I think is important as a president of a university. So how do you when you're walking around campus, what's the atmosphere like for you?
Well, when I'm walking across the campus, usually I'm with someone else. And so oftentimes it's my husband, other times it's my assistant Sylvia, other times it's faculty or staff that I'm working with. And so we do what we can always to reach out to the people that we see. If I am by myself, I try to make a point of introducing myself to as many people as I can and making sure that people understand that, yes, I'm the president of the university, but I'm an approachable person that they can come to with their concerns and their suggestions and their problems, and that if they do come to me, they know that I'll help them.
Have you had anyone come to you?
Well, we've done a couple of ways. You know, I have students come to me through the FaceTime that we have with students, and so once a month we set aside time where I go to the student center, and we set up a schedule of opportunities for students to bring issues to me. Sometimes they just want to meet me, and so they'll say, I just wanted to meet you, and that's really fun for me. Other times they have serious issues that they want me to address, and so I've been able to resolve some student issues as a result of that, and that feels good to me.
Right. And I know I have to ask this, football. Students love football. What are your thoughts?
Well, you'd be surprised. Not all students are in favor of football, but we are doing what we can to assess whether or not football is the right strategy for Winthrop going forward. We have that assessment going on in a couple of different ways. We have consultants who are doing a space assessment and determining what we would need to do space-wise and facilities-wise in order to launch a football program. We have a faculty member who is working with a group of students. Then they're doing an assessment of schools that have recently added football, and schools that are similar to Winthrop that have recently added football, and they're looking at what was the impact of football on the applications, the retention of students, student conduct issues. And of course, I never talk about adding football if I don't say football and a marching band. It's like it's one big sentence, football and a marching band. And so you think about how many students would actually also be part of the marching band and what that would do for recruitment and retention of our student population as well. So we're asking the questions we have to ask to do due diligence about facilities and the costs. And we're also asking questions about what it would do for our institutional culture. And then of course there are Title IX issues that have to be addressed as well, because when you add a sport that's got 100 men in it, then you need to make sure that you're also adding opportunities for women.
Right, so it's not anything that's going to happen in the immediate future, but maybe.
Well, I'm hoping that we have a decision. My inauguration is on March 28th, and I would like to be able to say either at the inauguration or very shortly after whether or not we're going to go forward with football in the near term. Now, of course, this can be revisited every year or 2 years from now or whatever, but I'd kind of like to set the issue aside because you're not the first person who's asked me about it, and I keep having to answer that question.
Right. Well, we will definitely be on the look out for that.
Okay.
And just one last thing, how is Coco adjusting to the new house?
Well, Coco is doing fine. There was a period of time when the poor thing, she's almost 10, had some difficulty because there are just so many exits, so many doors, and she didn't know which door to go to bark to let us know she needed to go outside. But we've figured that all out now, and she's well adjusted, and we're all doing just fine.
Oh, that's great to hear. Well, thank you again so much for being with us today, and we'll be right back with more Winthrop Close Up.
Before we go to break, we want to find out how you feel about a Winthrop football team. Dimitri, what are students saying?
We're sitting here live in the Edge, and I'm sitting here with
Courtney Pendergrass.
And Courtney Pendergrass, what is your classification?
I'm a senior.
Oh, graduating soon.
Yep.
So there's word in that we may have a football team soon. So how do you feel about that?
I think that it'd be a good thing and bring a lot of publicity to campus, maybe some more funding. Also, as a student here, we don't have anything concrete that alumni can come back for. So I think that with a football team, we'll have something to look forward to once I leave and come back.
Awesome. Dr. Comstock isn't ruling out a football team, and there will be more word on in the spring. Coming back in Winthrop Close Up. Stay tuned, Winthrop.
We've seen several businesses go down here in Rock Hill over the last few years, but what is the city planning to do to keep the city above water despite the economic decline? Chelsea Vicari has more.
The entire country took a hit when the recession came to play in 2008, but Rock Hill looks like it's on the upswing. New developers have been hired, and the city manager says that Rock Hill is aiming to revamp itself as a sports-oriented town.
Rock Hill is, I would say, over the last 4 or 5 years, we've been really holding our own through the recession. We continue to see little upticks in almost every category of what we have here, which is a good thing, even over the course of the recession. I think that as the recession ends, we're positioning ourselves to really bounce back further and faster than probably other cities in the Charlotte region.
A BMX track is being built as part of the 1,000-acre Riverwalk development, as well as a new park. The velodrome, built just 2 years ago, is one of 2 in the country built to Olympic standards and has already gotten some national attention.
You know, being how young it is, I think it's moving in the right direction. I think honestly, this is going to be the velodrome to come to, around America, within the next couple of years, I think it's going to be awesome. And I think Rock Hill has something really great coming for them.
As well as being sports-oriented, Rock Hill City is planning on closing the gap between Winthrop University and downtown. The open lot that used to be the bleachery beside Winthrop is going to be a large development known as Knowledge Park.
It is a business park that we're building in the inner city, which will be used to generate businesses who will come and who will locate here. The City Council is working on an agreement with a master developer who we've entered into an agreement with. The name of the developer is Sora. This will be a real game changer for our downtown.
New developments are providing jobs in the area and will lower unemployment rates in Rock Hill. The city manager says he's excited to see where this town is going to be in just 15 years. This is Chelsea Vicari for Winthrop Close Up.
Not one dime of funding for these projects comes from the citizens of Rock Hill. Instead, it's paid for by incremental taxes and 2% food and beverage spending.
One senior is defying the odds. Reporter Dimitri Williams introduces us to this biology major.
And you can tell that it's in there because it gets really cloudy.
Winthrop University senior Kara Hardwick of Charleston, South Carolina, recently was awarded the Raymond W. Sarber Award by the American Society of Microbiology. She is the only undergraduate recipient in the country.
I wrote a personal statement and gave them my CV and showed the previous research that I had done and what I'm currently working on, and they picked me.
Hardwick says she has always been a naturally curious person. She came to Winthrop wanting to become a doctor, but discovered that there are many other exciting things in biology that were better suited for her.
I'm actually trying to find out if there is a correlation from introduced species and disease outbreaks in human and animal populations, and it's been basically like a big scavenger hunt.
Although Hardwick is very busy throughout the semester, one professor considers her to be a great help.
She's fantastic, and she has a tremendous work ethic, and she's a really strong student, and she's very humble, which is a good thing because she wants to learn and wants to get better.
Dr. Hurd is the best advisor ever. He is very, very nice. He's very approachable. I actually took him for ecology last year.
Hardwick will be presented her award and a check for $2,000 in May of 2014.
So by nominating her for an award, I think that she can start to realize her potential.
So when there isn't a lot of nutrients,
Hardwick expects to continue work in the Winthrop labs for the rest of the academic year and anticipates earning an advanced degree in microbiology after graduation. I'm Dimitri Williams for Winthrop Close Up.
From September 15th to October 15th, Hispanic and Latino Americans commemorate their independence. Reporter Leslie Brown tells us more.
From September 15th to October 15th, Hispanic and Latino Americans celebrate their heritage and culture. September 15th marks the anniversary of independence for Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Mexico, Chile, and Belize also celebrate their independence days during this period. Natasha Carrillo, a Spanish instructor who is of Uruguayan descent, says recognizing this holiday allows students to open their mind.
It's just more than to study grammar or to know vocabulary, but it is really to get to know a culture.
Here at Winthrop, the Multicultural Student Council held a celebration, or una celebración, for this holiday.
Winthrop students celebrated National Hispanic Heritage Month by eating food catered by a Cuban restaurant, dancing, listening to bands play, and watching traditional performances of different countries.
I enjoyed the festival a lot because it wasn't geared entirely towards Mexicans. It was nice that they had everybody. They had people from South America, the Caribbean as well, and not just Mexico.
Roberto Avalos, a student of Mexican descent, says that he just found out about this annual celebration.
Just wish that National Hispanic Month would be more advertised so that everyone could know about it and people open their minds to other cultures, especially here at Winthrop where we're so diverse.
The Latin celebration on campus was one of many more to come. I'm Leslie Brown for Winthrop Close Up.
After the break, we'll show you some of the best sports stories from this semester.
Welcome back to Winthrop Close Up, where we show you our sports news live. I'm Leslie Brown with some of our best stories of the semester. Basketball season is well on its way. Reporter Demetri Williams went to see what Coach Pat Kelsey expects from the team this year.
Coach Pat Kelsey is in his second season as head coach of the men's basketball team. He looks back on the 15 boys he's coached his first season. He says the players worked hard for their success.
I don't think there was a harder playing team in the Big South last year. They bled, they sweat, they cried on the floor, and I think represented Winthrop in a phenomenal way.
And the team motto, do what we do.
We're not flavor of the month. We don't throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. We're very, very consistent in our expectations on a daily basis.
And that expectation is to practice harder than any team in the United States of America.
One former player is proud of the work they do on the court.
I love to see how hard they work in practice, just like coach expects of them. I hold them accountable. I don't expect them to be the same as they were when I was here.
Kelsey has a new playing style this season that he believes will be exciting not only for the players, but for the student body.
I think the fact that we'll be a much more up-tempo team will be exciting to see.
They've got their eye on the prize and plan to hang another championship banner. But Kelsey says it starts with the student body because it's your team. Demetri Williams for Winthrop Close Up.
5 minutes on the clock. Winthrop women's soccer team has a not-so-secret weapon this season. Reporter Daisy Burrows gives us an inside look at one player's honorable success.
I want to score goals. I want to win games. That's what I'm here to do.
Christina Frida, a junior physical education major, was recently named the Big South preseason attacking player of the year.
I like soccer over any other sport because not only is it a very physical sport, it's also a very mental sport.
She really sets the pace for the game. You know, if someone else is working hard, it forces you to work just as hard.
Christina's soccer performance may leave some people wondering just how does she do it.
I think what really sets me apart is my determination.
She's a leader on the field, off the field. She sets good examples for the younger girls, for the older girls.
Frida credits much of her success to the program's rigorous practice schedule.
Practice is a must. You got to practice so that you can play.
Practice is definitely the most important part of the game.
Frida offers one word of advice for anyone aiming to succeed.
Love what you do. If you don't love it, then don't do it.
With passion and drive so strong, we know Frida is on her way to future success. This is Daisy Burrows reporting for Winthrop Close Up.
That's all we have for your sports updates, showing you the best stories of the semester. We'll see you again in January with news on our Eagle athletes. Now, let's take it over to Demetri with Arts and Entertainment.
Welcome to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Demetri Williams. Everyone is still talking about the twerk scene around the world. Miley Cyrus brought the dance twerking to the forefront. But what is it? Reporter Chelsea Brown went to find out how Winthrop students are feeling about the dance craze that just can't stop.
What is your definition of twerking? What do you think twerking is?
Something Miley Cyrus should not do.
Miley is a hot topic with twerking as a big part of her hit music video, We Can't Stop. She's sparking conversation and making this dance a cultural craze. Twerking has become a common term that is the newest word of the Oxford Dictionary. Its definition is to dance to popular music in a sexually provocative manner, involving thrusting hip movements and a low squatting stance. Although it is becoming popular, some people don't agree with the movement.
Now, some people do take it too far, and it could be viewed crazy or it could be viewed as disrespectful if you take it to that level. But everything done in moderation, it's not a big of a deal. It's just a dance.
Twerking has even gotten a few people in trouble. At a high school in San Diego, over 30 students were suspended for using school equipment to make a twerking video for YouTube.
Twerking isn't new. In 1993, Do the Jubilee All by DJ Jubilee started the twerking movement. Other songs in the 1990s, such as Cheeky Black's Twerk Something, helped to solidify its place in pop culture.
Twerking has been out for some time now. I say that because in the music that my grandmother listens to, they said the word twerk a couple times, and that was last year, and I realized that twerking had been out for a long time. Grandmas was probably twerking already.
Professor Sandra Niels, an associate professor of dance at Winthrop, believes that twerking is not a dance. She stated, "It is an embarrassment to dance and dancers. I would say it belongs in a B movie or worse. Simulated sex on stage is not dancing. While it may seem fun, be cautious of where you may twerk. This is reporter Chelsea Brown reporting for Winthrop Close Up.
Want to see Miley Cyrus twerking live in action? Her tour will be in Charlotte this spring. From steamy vampire romances to tales of revenge, fall television shows are a hot topic. Reporter Cheyenne Lewis gives us the scoops on your favorite shows.
With a surplus of new dramas, comedies, and supernatural shows, you shouldn't be flipping through channels to find something to watch. Many of the new shows have either been praised or brushed to the side.
Oh my God. Well, I've heard that was it the Fox show? Yeah, Michael J. Fox, that it's been really bad and lots of people don't like it.
So I think the originals will make it because of the show Vampire Diaries, because they're really important characters. So
Some networks, such as the CW and ABC Family, have had very successful shows, running more than 4 or 5 seasons, such as Supernatural and Pretty Little Liars. The CW has experience in creating shows that go on to last anywhere from 7 to 10 seasons. ABC Family is known for creating family-oriented shows that draw in the crowd.
I think the CW network, because they just have a lot of drama and they pull you into their shows, and they have a lot of emotion to them too, so that keys people. And
well, most of them are kind of, I guess you could say, kid-friendly, and it's good for the whole family, and it's not crazy language or anything going on.
If these networks are able to keep the new shows on air, maybe you'll find a new favorite show to watch. Cheyenne Lewis for Winthrop Close Up.
With shows such as Pretty Little Liars, the spring is sure to offer some interesting lineups. Let's go to Meg to see what shows you are excited about.
Thanks, Dimitri. So I went to Twitter once again to find out what are people's favorite fall shows this season. So Caroline Dupree tweeted to us and told us that Once Upon a Time, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and of course How I Met Your Mother are a few of her favorites. And along with, of course, Scandal is on everybody's list, Grey's Anatomy and American Horror Story. So this seems like some pretty good shows, and I watch a few of those myself. So I'm going to toss it back over to you guys to see what we have in news. You may see the glitz and glamour of Winthrop Close Up, but what happens behind the lens? I went behind the scenes to give you a closer look at our show.
We're going to do that one more time. Winthrop Close Up is more than what the viewer sees. It's not an average class with papers and lectures. This class provides students to get real-life experience of the broadcasting world.
From day one, we have students that produce the show. They're the ones that are in front of the class, and they're assigning the stories, and they're checking on their fellow classmates.
Students are assigned a story weekly and are required to film, interview, and edit their own stories for the upcoming show. Students take 2 semesters of the class. The first semester is focused more on script writing and the second on video.
Camera 2, mic and cue.
Students even have the opportunity to direct shows.
Directing is tough. Sometimes the script isn't perfect, so you have to react and go off instinct. And, it's kind of stressful because if you get something wrong, then, the whole story is affected. So.
Winthrop Close Up may only be a 3-credit class, but the workload requires many hours outside of the classroom. On Mondays, the class meets to review the past show, critique, and assign stories for the week. Even though the class may be intense, be prepared to learn more about working with the team.
We're all not super close, but we all do support each other, and we try to be there for one another and give each other story ideas. So be prepared to kind of get attached, because I know this is my last semester and I'm already starting to miss it.
Now you know what goes into creating Winthrop Close Up. Thanks for tuning in this semester.
We hope that you have a wonderful winter break. You can keep in touch with us by liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter @Winthrop Close Up. See you in January.